Do you know any school for entrepreneurs? Have you been in a school before becoming an entrepreneur? This is Luca Papa, and in this video I will try to explain you why entrepreneurs don't know how to do their job, because they don't have a school for entrepreneurs. So your job is to be an entrepreneur, and being an entrepreneur is a job or not? What I would say is that entrepreneurship is very tough, and the entrepreneur is a job, is a very tough job, much tougher than all the different jobs that you might do in your life. So most of you entrepreneurs began your activities being a specialist of something, or a specialist, a technician. For example, you know how to be a technician, and then you create a company based on your technical skills. For example, this is the typical case of an entrepreneur. You know how to cut hair, and then you follow up building a business about cutting hair. That's what happens in the majority of cases. But the problem is that the majority of entrepreneurs, they really don't know how to do that job. They know how to do their original job, the job that they were doing before becoming an entrepreneur. So they know how to be a good technician, they know how to be a good hairdresser, and they know how to be a good photographer, but not how to become and how to be a very good business owners. That's the real problem. For what concerns online business, the situation is even worse. Why? Because to become an entrepreneur, you need a certain set of skills. For example, you need some skills like production. You need skills about people management. You need skills about finance of your business, about accountability of your business, and sometimes sales, traditional sales. What happens when once you want to become an online entrepreneur? The situation is that you still have to manage and have to know all those kind of skills as if you were an offline entrepreneur, but you need also a new set of skills, a new set of digital skills. Like, for example, digital marketing. And digital marketing is very complex. There are a lot of things inside digital marketing. If you want to get customers for your online business, you need much more things. You need to know how to get customers from search engines like Google. You need to know how to get customers for social media like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You need to know how to build a website and to manage the website, how to build maybe an e-commerce and to manage the e-commerce, how to build and use software like email marketing software, and so on. So you still have the need for being an entrepreneur, but also you need also this separate set of skills. So that's why the majority of aspiring digital entrepreneurs, they fail in their business. In the last few years, I have been knowing a lot, thousands of aspiring digital entrepreneurs trying to start up their own business, but failing, more than 90%, I would say. Why? Because they both miss the entrepreneur set of skills, but they miss also the digital entrepreneur set of skills. The large majority of the entrepreneurs I talk to and then that ask me and my company, Digital Coach, that is a training and coaching company helping entrepreneurs to get their business better from the profit point of view. The majority of those entrepreneurs, they have a business where they are not earning any money. Sometimes they are making some money, but some money like if they were an employee in that company, not much more. And why? Because they don't know how to do the entrepreneur. They just know the technical part of the business, the product, the service, but the most of the success and the results of their business does not depend just on the production part of the business. There are so many different things that you need to manage in order to become a real entrepreneur. So that's why the real problem is that more than 90-95 of the entrepreneurs, they are not ready to do that job. Even those who studied at the university disciplines like economy, they are not ready, because everything is just theory. When you study at the university, is not real business. It's it's a different planet business. So there's a problem, a lack of training. There's a problem about training. You need to train yourself, because the most difficult part of business at the end is to know what are the right decisions, what are the right management procedures, what are the right choices you have to make, and for every decision you have to take, you need a certain set of skills. So let's try to summarize some of the main skills that you need if you want to become an entrepreneur. If you just if your goal is just to become an offline entrepreneur, obviously you need skills about people management, for example. Then skills about finance, accountancy, obviously. You need skills about management skills, and then in some cases you might need also skills about IT and so on. Obviously skills in production, but the large majority of entrepreneurs, they do know how to produce their products or how to provide a good service, because the majority of the entrepreneurs comes from that area. Then, if you want to become an online entrepreneur, what else do you need? Digital marketing skills and digital sales skills, or online sales skills. What does that mean? First of all, to know how search engine works and how to make profit from Google. Second, how to make profit from social media. Then you need to know how strategies online works. Every kind of strategy, like marketing funnels, sales funnels, customer journeys. Then you need to know how to study online buyer personas, online behaviors. That's different from offline behaviors. And obviously you also have a part where you need to know how to manage also all the software that you will use during your activities. Software, for example, for managing your website, software for managing your e-commerce, software for managing your email marketing activities, software for managing your online marketing ads campaigns, and so on. A lot of software. We call them digital tools. What does that mean? This means that you as an entrepreneur, you need to study, to go to school, because you still can, find an agency, but the real problem is that digital agencies will never give you all the profits that you want from your digital business. It's impossible, nearly impossible. The only person that can raise your business to the next level through the digital marketing power, it's you. And in order to do that, you need a new set of digital skills. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and in this case you have the opportunity to ask for a one-to-one free consultation with one of my coaches, my digital coaches. We digital coach are specialized as a company, are focused on helping entrepreneurs, all kind of entrepreneurs, especially all entrepreneurs that want to use the power of digital marketing and sales. We help entrepreneurs to raise their revenues, to make their business easier, to automatize through technology their business, and so at the end the final result is more profit, with less work. That's what we help you to do. If you want to know what we can do for you, with you, and for you, you can ask for this free consultation here somewhere in the description of the video, and we will meet you in a short time. Bye bye, Luca Papa and Digital Coach. Bye bye.